Also, when Diop and many others see and claim that the ancient Egyptian statues have African phenotypes, they start saying things like, well, statues cannot be used to determine race. Yet Metatron just used the statue to determine the race of Cleopatra, and they do the same with the Greeks.
Third deceptive indicator in your discourse, and this one is a full-on strawman fallacy. In other words, misquoting in an attempt to dominate the conversation. Not gonna happen. For reference, an intentionally misrepresented position is set up because it's easier to defeat than an opponent's real argument. This is a conversational trap, and we identified it immediately with the team. Because I never said that statues could not be used, so this becomes a strawman, and you make it sound as if I ascribe to that belief. In other words, you're trying to put me in what is called a logical fallacy of relevance. Namely, you want me to try and defend a point of view that I don't even hold. Nice try. Now, if you did this on purpose, it's a debacle, but once again, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, maybe you misunderstood me. And on the topic of statues, of course I believe that statues from all cultures and all civilization can offer something that can be gleaned from, but it really is a case-by-case situation. And even ignoring the strawman section, when you try to frame it and say, well, you see, people have double standards because when it's statues of the Greeks, you use them to say, see, they're white, but when it's statues from the Egyptians, you say, that is not enough. We don't just have statues from the Greeks. We have literary descriptions, we have iconography, we have representations. They called themselves white. I wish the Egyptians called themselves black. I know you think they did, but they didn't, as we'll see on the next section.
Since Metatron has been charitable enough to show that statues can be used as an indicator of somebody's race, it is my job to show you what the statues of all the pharaohs look like. And I want you to pay close attention, even though from just a standard overview, you can see that the general appearance of the pharaohs is that of black Africans. And keep in mind, I am not saying that this is a coincidence or anything. I mean, every single statue of pharaohs up until a certain point indicate a direct link to black Africans. And by the way, if their statues are of European descent or Asiatic descent, then I feel sorry for these artists because they suck. No matter how you slice it, looking at these statues, you see broad noses with a round instead of a sharp turn, and you see thick lips. Not as thick as ever, but not as thin as ever either. And these aren't even all of them. These are just the ones that I could find off the cuff. Everyone watching should play a game with themselves. How many of you can pretend that you're looking at white people right now? So there is a reason why they never show you these statues, because if you saw them, you might just come to the conclusion that Egypt was black, like you should right now. Anybody who was on the fence, look at these statues and ask yourself a question. Do my eyes deceive me? No. Unlike most people who just give you a statue that most represents the political movement or the race that they want to represent, I have shown you multiples.